Hello, everyone. Welcome to You Always Wins version of Coffee Talk on
Coffee Talk.
Battlefield 1. So,
Yeah.
you guys may or may not know that we both are actually huge fans of Battlefield and this different series that DICE and EA bring, in this genre where all the way back to Bad Company 1, Bad Company 2, talking about, Battlefield 3. You were a player of Hardline.
You on the PS4,
Yeah, I mean, but you liked it
Despite people hating it.
I actually enjoyed the simplicity of Battlefront. I really did because I like the genre of the game.
Yeah.
And I did enjoy it, but I played it. It played its course for me. But for Battlefield 4, for me, I've got 400 plus hours in it on PC alone, and then all the time that we're now putting in on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not something that was always on the forefront of video production, but it's something that we played for fun a lot. Like, you played a lot of it on your off time.
I think
so.
I think it says a lot, though, right?
Yeah.
The games. It's
that's
like
your fun go-to.
That's
game.
my fun go-to game when I've got my computers tied up doing other things. What do you do to just enjoy yourself without the mic being on? And I would play Battlefield 4 for hundreds and hundreds of hours, and I really, really enjoy it. And I played it just by myself. It's kind of it's better to play with a couple of friends. Yeah, I'm a loner.
And that's got to be frustrating, though, because Battlefield is a very sort of, if you don't have a good squad, it can be one of the most frustrating games to play.
It is,
you know what I mean?
But I was able to actually develop different tactics and different theories on how I can actually still be successful in playing the game and be an effective member of the team. I wouldn't. A lot of guys who played solo would probably sit back and just try and pick off for kills, but no, I look for new flanking routes, and when other people saw what I was doing, they would either join the squad or they would spawn up on me, and I almost could develop into a really good, fun, competitive style game. Not always, but most of the time.
Yeah. Well, that means that for you then, that style and that mentality, dude, I think that the changes, the huge changes I think that they've made to Battlefield 1 are going to be in line with that mentality, and something that some people aren't necessarily happy with, but you and I both agreed that it's a great thing that they're focusing more so in rewarding objective players, not so much these people that sit back and shoot fish in a barrel instead of like going after flags in Conquest or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's Okay, so what we're talking about, you guys, is that DICE has put an emphasis on objective play in objective-based games. Did you hear what I said? Objective play in objective-based games. So what that means is if you're that guy who is pushing forward, trying to capture flags, trying to capture the MCOM stations in Rush, and you're getting the objective done for your team, you're going to be rewarded with more points in comparison to someone who just goes around kill whoring. And people do that specific. It's well known that people specifically do that in objective base. You've got X amount of people playing the objectives, and
no matter what the shooter game is, though, dude.
No matter what,
They're always like, I'm the guy sitting outside, taking advantage of this game mode, shooting, and not caring if the team wins at all.
They're playing TDM. They play TDM in an objective-based game. So, what DICE has done. And I think there's the bigger picture here that people really aren't realizing. They're giving a 2 to 3 times the amount of bonus points to do this stuff. Now, you got to remember a couple of things. The simplicity of gadgets and weapons that is in their, quote, World War I type game. You're not going to have thermal sights and mortars and 40 times scopes and all this stuff for people to do that. You're going to be in there with iron sights. Some of the guns will have, like the snipers and some of the DMRs will have the ability to have a zoom type optic. But anything in close, we're not looking at red dots. We're not looking at holographic.
Assault rifles and the SMGs are going to be iron sights only, so that's a huge adjustment.
So that brings you in, right? It brings you in close quarters. And where better to fight close quarters than on the objective? So
where you're going to get more points. I think it's going to increase those engagement levels, like those number of engagements per minute sort of type idea, you know?
At heart, I'm a Rush player, okay? And
yeah, I love Rush the best.
And that came from Bad Company, is where I just love Rush. Now, Rush was incredible on Bad Company because I think that they built the maps for Rush and then put Conquest on top of them, where now I think they develop them for Conquest and then try and figure out a Rush course. So, why I like Rush. There is everyone on the battlefield is focusing in one area. You have these epic fights. I love just action. Have you ever been on Goldman Railway or you know, what is the desert one where you're just out in the middle of nowhere? You have no ride, you have no nothing, and you're like, okay, either I have to redeploy or I have to run for 10 minutes just to get in the action. You know, that's for me. I would rather be in an epic battle whether you're kicking everybody's butt or they're kicking yours. At least you're fighting over a point, and it's like awesome. You just take a second to look around. It's like, oh my gosh, this is an awesome fight.
And it concentrates you though. It concentrates players though. Like in Conquest is fine, and I don't mind this. Like, you know, whatever domination, but you're spread out depending on the size of the map on like 5+ points. Whereas Rush, there's 2 points. Everyone is going for that. The other team is defending the snot out of it. I find there's more objective gameplay in Rush than any of the other game modes. Because there's only 2 spots. Everyone pushes there. It's way more intense. You're not running for friggin' half an hour to get in there. I'm with you on it. I love Rush the most because of that.
Now, guys, we're obviously talking about. There's always going to be a few guys that are on the edges with the mortars and the 40 times scope. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about in general the server as, you know, an 80% fight at these places. What I think this could possibly do. Now, you could nitpick at things, you know, other things, but I think what this could do is open up the Conquest game mode to more people that are more like Rush oriented. They're going to say, wait a minute, you know, I'm going to have some epic battles. Maybe there's how the map design is. Yeah, you're going to have those outlying flags out there that are going to be easy points, but they're going to be so far out there, no one's going to want to go out there just to get their 1,300 points. They're going to fight in here where there's like 3 flags in proximity, and you go back and forth, and it's just the whole wave, the momentum going from one side to the other. That's what a
No more
game...
sitting back on the hills with that, you know, that huge scope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're forcing you to go in. You want to be on top of the leaderboard, get in there. Makes Conquest way more exciting, I think.
And may bring in people to that game mode that don't necessarily be like us. Like, yeah, I like Conquest, but I like Rush more. So maybe that's going to bring them in. You know, people kind of open their mind to the idea of, if you are looking at something being changed based off of what you play now, you got to remember this is a whole new game. This is simplicity of gadgets and vehicles and weapons, and doing what they're doing might
boots on the ground,
be might turn this into some really epic battle, which I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. You know, because I have a hard enough time seeing people with iron sights. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I have a hard time picking
You're going to have to go in.
I need to be in close.
I'm the same way, dude. No matter what the weapon, I always have a sight on. I'm the worst with iron sights, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to get used to it, and I'm gonna have to get in there. Because I'm that guy with the DMR sitting on the outside.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, I do that because it's usually just you and I in a squad, and I'm like, I gotta stay safe so that you can respawn, because you're the one going in there doing the action.
Yeah.
And that's just the way
you know,
it is.
I'd love to qualify the hype train here for myself. I want to tell you guys that for me, what before they said what the next Battlefield was going to be, I actually was hoping it was going to be another Bad Company 3. Honestly, kind of maybe somewhere between, you know, Vietnam era and the, say, 1990. You know, somewhere.
Is that to dumb down the tech side, or more focus on the Rush?
No, it's like a dumb down of the tech a little bit. You still have red dots, you still have that stuff, you still have some of it, but it's not like futuristic type tech, you know, not crazy.
But simple reticles and stuff like that.
I'm an infant. You can be an infantry fighter in Battlefield. You don't have to say, well, you're playing Battlefield, so you gotta love vehicles. No, you don't. I love infantry. I love being an engineer. I like shooting rockets at all you guys in the vehicles. That's fun for me. I don't necessarily like to drive them. I like to explode them, though. My qualification in this is that I haven't been on like this hype train. Oh my gosh, the best thing ever. I wanted a bad company. Now, so I keep an open mind. I look at what they're doing. I'm like, oh, me personally, I am concerned a little bit about not having a red dot of some kind or these types of weapons. But I am really, really excited about a new Battlefield game, okay? Because looking at what Battlefield 4 has done over the past 3 years, the multiple DLC expansions, the multiple game mode expansions, I think they have done an incredible job between DICE and DICE LA.
Oh, their support is amazing.
They've
continued.
DLCs and all that. They've continued to. It's like if a premium thing was ever worth it. Oh my goodness, these guys really delivered. Yeah, they had a slow start. Yeah, we can nitpick, but let's look at the big picture. If you can get
so much stuff they added.
This kind of high quality gameplay for 3 years, that's awesome.
Exactly.
That is awesome, and so I'm looking forward to, even if it is like like a lot of people sometimes will bring up the point of, oh, this is just a reskin version of that. Okay, I get 2 more years out of a game that I love.
I don't see that this is a reskin.
I don't think it is. No, they haven't said that about this, but I'm saying when you do say that,
in general,
I'm okay with that.
Version, it's like,
especially if you love the previous game that they're reskinning.
yeah, exactly.
I think that the game modes that they've got so far, what I looked at, it was Conquest, Domination, Operations, and Rush is what so far they're listing, as kind of a base.
Oh, yeah, okay. They're going to add deathmatch because it seems to be standard and everything. I'm not too concerned about that. I think the moves that they did, the concentration and the rewards for the objective versus just kills is a great move as well. That's what I'm kind of more hyped up against. My only concern is, you and I are YouTubers.
Yeah.
And I think YouTube has had a huge influence on a lot of shooter games in terms of what people do. Most of the videos you see, it's all about getting so many kills, and there's a lot of YouTubers that are so focused on that. You need to, that's what viewers think is a good gamer, is the guy who gets a lot of kills, less deaths, and not so much the guy who's objective. And I wonder how well received, or if it's, it's like we're going against the grain or going against the current. It's an uphill battle trying to sort of push things, and DICE is trying to do this, I think, with Battlefield 1, is focusing on objective and saying, don't worry about your KD, get in there, have a battle, and win. That's more important. And I wonder if YouTubers are going to have a struggle with this, because they're going to be like, oh, look how many kills I got, and I'm at the bottom of the barrel in terms of the scoreboard,
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what turned us off years ago to, we were FPS gamers. That's what we posted. And it turned me off that the whole thing focused on that. And I would love to go against the grain. I would love that you guys would join You Always Win in the fact of getting back to enjoying and having a blast in the game.
Being objective players,
just going crazy on the objectives. It opens up the opportunity for people that just may not be good at their gun skills. That's fine. Yeah. You can actually enjoy yourself.
Just get in there, man.
Yeah, get in there. Run in there, dude. Make it happen, It's awesome. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to some beta action. We have the opportunity to play here in, I think, about a week or so. So we'll probably do another one after we get some hands on these things and pass on some more details and some more thoughts on this. So I am super excited, you guys. Thank you guys all for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. You want to see a lot more Battlefield action, because it's coming your way.